when I was doing youth ministry back in Atlanta, I had a student whom I gave a ride to church and home every Friday. As immigrants from Korea, both of his parents worked, including his old brother. So it was my weekly routine to pick him up at a bus stop, bring him to church, and give him a ride home after having Friday Bible study, playing basketball together, and eating chicken wings at a restaurant. That was my youth group weekly routine. And I had to come back where I lived after giving him a ride. So when I came back, it was 12:30 a.m. at night. It was one summer day, Saturday evening. I gave him a ride home, and his parents were there when I arrived. His father saw me and says, "Hello, Pastor Park. Thank you for doing this for my son. Why don't you come in and have some drinks and this water?" I said, "Oh, that's okay." But he persisted. So I said, "Okay, I'll come in." And I found out later, however, it was my mistake. Americans take yes as yes, no as no, right? Yes means yes, no means no. But Koreans, they don't, they persist. When I was at the door, my student says, "Can you stay a little while outside?" I said, "Okay." Then I could hear literally the sound of cleaning up, stuff, and as well as the people, moving back and forth. I came in later, and they gave me what? A bottle of water. I heard his mom, complaining to his husband like this for inviting me when the house was not in order and there was nothing to offer. And I'm still grateful for the invitation, but it makes me think about what we do as humans. We try to look clean, right? We try to look good. When my friends come over to my apartment, same thing happens. What do I do when they come? Before they come, what do I do? Clean up, clean up. How? You may agree with me, all the mess goes to the closet. All the mess goes to the closet. And I say to my guests, don't ever open that closet, please. The reality made a mess inside the closet, but we often pay more attention to our appearances. The story from Mark's Gospel, which you read today, talks about the reality within and without. What's inside of us and what appears to be outside. It speaks of Jesus' dispute over the washing of hands with the Pharisees and the scribes, yet it has far more implications on human interactions, human psyche, and who we are before God and others. By the way, our detour with John's Gospel is finally over, Right? We've been listening to John's Gospel, right? When I found out we are back to Mark's Gospel, I said, "Thank you, Lord." Thank you, Lord. We had enough of John. No more John. Please end this a little while. We had enough. So one day, the Pharisees and the scribes come over from Jerusalem, find Jesus' disciples eating food with defiled hands, meaning without washing their hands, and they criticize them. But it is not a hygiene issue like sweetie, you have to wash your hands before you eat. But it is about who is literally clean and unclean, who are the righteous Jews and not, and who are insiders and outsiders. There are two groups of what Jewish historian Josephus calls Jewish philosophy, that's how he calls them, featuring in the New Testament. One is the Pharisees, and the other is the Sadducees. I think you may have heard, those names, Pharisees and the Sadducees. Their difference is the central object of Sadducees' belief is the temple. They believe that giving sacrifice to God, as Moses decreed, proves that they are God's chosen people. That's what Sadducees believed, and that's what they did. Giving sacrifice to God as it is written in the law. The Pharisees, they wanted more. They were like quote-unquote hardcore believers, the Pharisees. So they brought temple rituals to their daily life. That's what they did. They brought temple rituals to their daily lives. They made all kinds of rules to keep their purity even outside the temple. According to the law, one has to be ritually clean, ritually pure, thus clean from blood, corpse, semen, etc., in order to enter the temple and offer sacrifice. You should be, ritually clean to do that. Likewise, those Pharisees made all kinds of rules like cleaning of cups, pots, and bronze kettles, as well as washing of hands, as it is called tradition of the elders, that later became Jewish halakha. I personally admire what Pharisees did, the implementation of temple ritual in the daily practices to pursue holiness, as they were highly regarded and admired among Jewish populace. The thing is, the Pharisees, the people absolutely admired them in their time, back in first century, in the Palestine. Yet, they fall into the problem of confusing means with ends. They thought following all kinds of rules outside will show that they are clean inside. They started doing this, definitely with good intentions, right? To care for their inside, right? We're gonna do this and that, then we will be clean. But in the end, what is left was their care for appearance. They think they are religious, devoted, and righteous, but the reality within says otherwise. American church historian Brooks Hollowfield, who taught at Emory University for 40 years, asked this question: why is America more religious, or church thrive more than Europe? And as you listen, you may think of your own answer. He asked, first, is it because of the separation between the church and the state? America is the land of religious free market where you get to choose religion you prefer. Because that's why the church thrived in the United States. Second, is it because of populars, less educated, but pastoral style of pastors? Third, is it because Christianity is related to American nationalism, as we often see American national flag inside the church? Fourth, is it because of theology that says Christianity is the direct indication of one's morality? Or this, is it because America is an immigrant country? Church is the place of social life and social gathering for immigrants and their loyalty endures. Sixth, American church thrive because it reached out working class. Lastly, but not least important, I think it's like most important, is it because women made it flourish, even when they were excluded from the pulpit for a long time. In the end, Professor Hollowfield, his answer is, guess what? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 6. Guess what? His answer is all of them. His answer is I don't know. I don't know. Which I think honest and at the same time confusing. But I deeply appreciate his question. Why do we Americans think that we are more religious than others? Is America really a shining city upon a hill? Or why do we claim that America is a Christian nation? Or why 70% of Americans identify themselves as Christian, while in reality only 20 to 30% of them actually attend the church services every week? Or let us ask ourselves, why do we care so much about how others see us and think about us, while reality within us says something different? Why do we pretend to be somebody who we are not, just like Pharisees in today's text, looking good outside with washing of hands, cups, pots, and bronze kettles, but inside is full of evil intentions? An answer is that that's what we are programmed to do, the impression management. We want to look good in the eyes of the others. That's what we do, impression management. Irving Goffman, American sociologist who taught at UC Berkeley, in his book, The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life, argues that human life or social interaction is like a drama in which we perform in theater, meaning we act in a way that impresses others rather than be immersed by others. Not to mention, our actions in the front stage, public, and backstage, private, are somewhat, if not totally, different. We perform and at the same time pretend to be someone we desire to be, which is not bad at all. Right? We all pretend to be someone we desire to be. That's not bad at all. But when we do it too much while not paying attention to what's really going on inside, we become like Pharisees in today's story. More often times, the reality within us comes out. The reality check takes place not when we look at ourselves from outside to see what's really there. It's like, oh, I'm going to look at myself and what's really there. But it happens when we see the other, them who are different from us. I used to have a part-time job in my school's library. So one day I had a project over a library branch, processing old books into the database. And one day I saw construction workers, people of color, laying on the sofa in the lounge. And I thought, like, who are they? I thought they were intruders, like breaking in without a key. So I asked them, how did you come in? How did you come in? Then they looked at me and showed me a key and said, we have a key. My face was flushed. I said, okay, and I quickly walked out because it revealed what's inside of me. Prejudice, mistrust, discrimination, pride, self-righteousness, and deceit. What's inside of me came outside. My performance and pretense couldn't hide the reality within. So let us do some reality check. Let us ask ourselves who we really are. Are we the person whom we pretend to be, or whom we think we are? Or how about doing this? Let us see what's inside of us, and it's once a day when we look at ourselves in the mirror. Some may be satisfied with what you find there in the mirror. It's like, oh, what a good-looking guy, or what a good-looking woman. When you look at yourself in the mirror, and you find satisfied with what you find there in the mirror as well as inside you. But if not, I hope you remember that God wants reverence, not performance. He wants authenticity, not pretension. Let me repeat. God wants reverence, not performance. He wants authenticity, not pretension. The ultimate reality we may find is that we are no different from those Pharisees in today's story. But I pray in doing so, in looking at ourselves, we may also find another reality within us, that is, we are in need of Him. We are in need of Him. As we sing, Lord, I need you, oh, I need you, every hour I need you, my one defense, my righteousness, oh God, how I need you, Lord, I need you, oh, I need you, every hour I need you, my one defense, my righteousness, oh God.